بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وعلى من تبعهم بدعوة إلى يوم الدين. Indeed, all praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, seek His aid, and ask His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evils of ourselves and from the evils of our actions. Whomsoever Allah guides, none can misguide. And whomsoever Allah misguides, none can guide. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship except for Allah alone, having no partner. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His slave and His messenger. Amma ba'd. To proceed, very the best of talks is the Quran, and the best of guidance is the guidance of His messenger Muhammad. May peace and blessings be upon him. And very the most evil of all matters are the ones innovated, for every newly innovated matter in Islam is an innovation, and every innovation in Islam is a misguidance, and every misguidance will lead to the hell. For tonight we're going to be describing the prayer of the Prophet ﷺ. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah will put barakah into the time, because my demonstration is going to be different from the demonstrations that I have seen onto the YouTubes and all of that. But I'm going to be pointing out the mistakes in every single act of the prayer, which, according to what I believe, that I thought that they need to be addressed. So if it is not going to be possible to do everything in this class, we'll make it in two classes. This one, this Ithnain, and the following Ithnain. But we'll see, inshallah. And as you know that we have been commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet of Allah in the hadith, which is hadith in Sahih Bukhari, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli," pray as you have seen me pray. Now we haven't seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam praying, but we have the information regarding his prayer in every single minute details. So we know every single act that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had done, with some of the cases where we do have an ikhtilaf, or sort of a difference among the scholars. So inshallah, the issue is going to be, I'm going to be doing the explanation, and I will have someone to demonstrate for me the correct prayer. So I will be talking about the prayer while somebody will be doing what I'm going to tell them to do. So we're going to be volunteering for the doctor, inshallah. Okay. Not now, when I tell you to stand up, we'll demonstrate for us. It's going to be straight after the prayer of the Maghrib. But I need to make, first of all, an introduction for the prayer. Hopefully the prayer is the second pillar of Islam. It's after the Shahadatayn. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put so emphasis on the prayer that He called upon the people to pray more than 250 times into the Quran. So the prayer is being called on for a lot of times, and that is why the person needs to make sure that he not just do the prayer on time, but also make sure that the quality of his prayer is correct. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Inna al-'abda la yusalli 60 'aman, la tuqbalu lahu salah." The person, he would pray for 60 years, and the number 60 here is attached to two things. Number one is that the age of the Ummah Muhammad ﷺ, bayna 60 wa 70. And people will start praying after they're 10 years old. So if they lived 70 years, that means 60 years. Number two is that whenever you correct somebody in his prayer, the Arabs would normally say to you that if he doesn't want to listen to what you're saying, he would say, "Sarli 60 sana basar, I have been praying for 60 years. You're coming to teach me what is the prayer." So that 60 number is very important. So whenever you teach him something, he says, "I'm been 60 years praying. You've been teaching me now to pray." But actually, you could be praying 60 years. None of your prayers accepted. You cannot really put an excuse for yourself that, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, if you didn't know, why didn't you learn? Why don't you sit down to learn your deen, just like you were keen to make sure that your profit is very big, maximizing your dunya profit. So why don't you just as well sit down to learn, to do the prayer? So the prayer is not just handed down from a father to the mother, unless the father and the mother have been linked to the correct sharia, to the correct information. Otherwise you're going to be doing something which is wrong. And some of the people, even they can't do the pillars of the prayer properly. Like for example, the wash, the wudu, the ghusl, and all of that. I'm not going to discuss the wudu and the ghusl, because that is separate. Tonight is for the prayer. So whatever is linked to the prayer in general, we need to know that when you come to the prayer, you need to make sure that you are doing it for the sake of Allah. This is the ikhlas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're not doing it because you're scared of your parents. You're not doing it because you want the people to say that you are a person who's abiding to the prayer. You're doing it for the sake of Allah. So that is a very important issue. Number two issue is that when you are doing it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you are making munajat. So you are doing it with the one whom you're supposed to worship and love at the same time. That is Allah the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to preoccupy yourself only with the prayer and empty your mind with anything to do with the dunya. For very long, for the fact that some of the people, they start doing their calculation for the dunya into the prayer. So the best time for them to think about the dunya is in the prayer. So no, you have to divorce the dunya completely when you are in the prayer and you are with the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, Allah Azza wa Jal, لا يزال الله عز وجل مواجها لعبده. He's in front of his slave. He's in front of you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in front of you when you pray. So He's watching. So if He's watching you, you need to watch yourself on what you do. You need to make sure that you're praying wholeheartedly. Everything that you do is following the Prophet's instructions. When you pray, istiqbal al-qibla, make sure that you are ready towards the qibla. Now these days we've got smartphones. We do the calculation for the qibla direction. Now, if you haven't got that, if you're living in this country, I've told a number of brothers that unfortunately the satellite dishing all of the places now towards the qibla, because I think I don't know what it's pointing to, but the sky and all of that, they point towards the qibla. If it's just towards the satellite direction, but slightly to the left. I'm not making a comparison here. You're not praying to a satellite dish, but you're praying according to the direction that will help you. Because you know that for a fact, lots of people will not be able to help you if you ask them about the qibla, because they're not Muslims, and few massages as well around. So that is as well for you to learn. So you just look at any house, look at the satellite dish, put your back to the satellite dish, turn slightly to the left, just slightly, and that is the qibla 100%. Right. This is the istiqbal al-qibla is one of the shurut of the salah. Another shart as well for the salah, the person needs to be on wudu, and needs to be as well clean in his body and clean in his clothes. So the clothes, body, and the place. So there's no excrement or urine into your body or into your clothes or into the place that you pray. Also, make sure that when you pray that you are covering your awrah. The awrah for a man in the prayer is not just between the navel and the knees, but actually include the navel. So it's not between the navel and the knees, it's actually include the navel and up to the shoulders. So covering the shoulders all the way down to the navel is actually the awrah of the man. So in the man, awrah in the prayer. Outside the prayer is no problem. Between the navel and the knees, that's your awrah. But in the prayer, you need to cover the navel and all the way up to the two shoulders. As for the woman, her awrah is all herself except for the face and the two palms, not the hand, the palms. So the two palms are not awrah in the prayer, and actually the women, if they are praying with their maharim or on their own, and they are from the ones who cover their hands and cover their faces, we say to them, don't cover your hands, don't cover your faces, unless you are in the presence of somebody who is non-mahram, and you are a person who covers both. So covering the face is disliked for a woman if there is no mahram. If there is mahram there and there is no strangers there, you should really uncover the face for the prayer. And also you need to make sure that you're praying towards the sutra. And this is the sutra. I've just seen a person praying this to me just a moment ago, and he thinks that he's praying to a sutra, but the sutra is not just the height-wise, it's actually the distance between you and the sutra. So for example, that you are praying towards the wall, towards the leg of the table, towards the, for example, the stand of a microphone, towards the back of your brother, towards the trunk of a tree, towards a wall, for example, of the house, or towards the wall of the qibla of this masjid. You need to make sure you are not far away from that. How far should be? That is, when you prostrate, your head is supposed to be leaving a gap between the wall and your head about half a meter, which is the passage of a sheep. Meaning, I'm not really knocking with my head that pillar, that wall, that back of your brother. No, I'm not knocking it. I'm not really touching it. Nor I'm too far away from it. So it's just a gap of a half a meter, like that. That's the gap I need to leave between the prostration of my head and the wall. And usually the Prophet of Allah, he would leave between himself and between the wall, dhira' wa nisf, it's about 1.5 meters. That is between him and the wall. So when he prostrates, usually his head will come between him and the wall, the distance between the sheep passage. The sheep passage is about half a meter, like that. So remember to have the sutra and not to pray between them. If you're praying towards the table, don't pray to the middle of the table, pray to the legs of the table. If you're praying with the chair, the same thing, take the leg of the chair, not the middle of the chair. Okay, so that's important as well. Now, there are cases which we explained regarding sometimes you're not capable of doing something. Like, for example, you're not capable of removing a dirt from your body. Don't worry. If you can't remove it, you pray as normal. If you haven't able to do the qibla, you do your best and you pray. And you found out later on you were not towards the qibla, don't worry about that. Okay, so all of that. But if you have prayed without wudu, and you remembered while you're in the prayer, then you have an option here. That is, if your wudu place is not far away, to make wudu and continue the prayer. Even the first part of your prayer was not with wudu is accepted. But if you have finished the prayer and then you remember that you're not in wudu, then you must make the prayer again. So if you have remembered while you're making the prayer, you could just stop the prayer and make the wudu, come back and continue, as we have discussed the proof from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, hadith of Abi Bakr radiyallahu anhu wa arda. The person may pray with his shoes, there's no problem about that. And praying with his shoes, of course, not in the masajid, because in the masajid, the people will not really tolerate such a thing. But if you are in a place where, like an airport or whatever, you don't need to take off your shoes. So you pray with your shoes on, and if you feel comfortable with that, as long as the shoes haven't got any dirt. I mean, that I'm talking about the impurities in them. Right, now Prophet ﷺ one day he prayed on top of the pulpit, and we explained that. He prayed on top of the pulpit to teach the people. I'm not going to be praying on top of the pulpit. Okay? I'm not going to let the doctor pray on the top of the pulpit. So I will make him to pray on the floor, and while you are watching after we finish, inshallah, I'm not going to pray straight away. Now, the person needs to know that when he's praying towards the sutra, he should not be letting anybody to pass in between him and the sutra. But if anybody had passed, then you don't have to worry, because you tried your best, you couldn't. But the person who has got no sutra, if any of those, the following three things that pass between him and his prostration spot, like the woman, and which is the adult one, or the black dog and the donkey, then his prayer will be invalid. He has to pray again. So those people who've got sutra, they don't have to worry about who's going to be passing between him and his sutra, as long as he's prevented. But the ones who hasn't got the sutra, then you have to watch out, because if anybody, number one, you are sinned. Number two, you're jeopardizing your prayer. Any person who passes between you and your prostration spot, if he's none of these three that I mentioned, which is the woman, black dog, and donkey, then if it's anybody else, then it will be halving your prayer. All half of the reward of your prayer is already gone. Now, coming to the prayer, when you come towards the qibla, so you're facing the qibla, and you're going to make takbirat al-ihram. So we'll start with that, takbirat al-ihram, and we'll, as I said, because it's coming up to 17, that's 18, isn't it? Yes, 18 the other. And the Muaddin says yes. Right. So takbirat al-ihram, face the qibla, and you're going to make takbirat al-ihram. Takbirat al-ihram has to be done when you are standing up. Has to be done when you're standing up. You may not do takbirat al-ihram for fard prayer unless you are standing up. Unless you are not capable of standing up, and we will inshallah demonstrate after the prayer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala wa ala man tabi'a hudah. The sifat al-salah, description of the prayer of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in al-takbir al-taslim. This is the last class in which we will be demonstrating what we have learned all the way through the classes that, alhamdulillah, they had some people attending them, but we need to make a demonstration for the prayer and also point out mistakes, the common mistakes that the people they fall into, and they believe this is part of their prayer. And every time we make a movement of the prayer, we will see what are the mistakes, and plus we will see what your questions are. So we're not going to go to another movement until we satisfy every position. That is the best approach, I think. If anyone would want to have something which is to on the YouTube to look at, I have seen maybe the Sheikh Muhammad Salih al-Munajjid. He had put on the YouTube, and I looked at it myself. There are things that he had skipped, because you know there is ikhtilaf, and especially the one which is putting the right on the left after the ruku', did not talk about it. But a few things there, I would say maybe it is the best. And actually he is applying the book of the Sheikh Nasir al-Din al-Albani rahmatullah alayhi. So in that book, he had, in that demonstration, he had, alhamdulillah, managed to put a lot of things. We will inshallah do the same, but we maybe add things as well to that YouTube, I think, YouTube episodes. Right, start with the, first of all, as we have mentioned now, istiqbal qibla, covering the awra, and all of that, and then come to the takbir al-ihram. So I would like to, the doctor. Right, is the person towards the qibla, and all the time, whether he is making takbir al-ihram or in the actions of the prayers, he will be looking at the place of prostration. So when he makes takbir al-ihram, he is looking at the place of the prostration. So, what are the two? There are one position where you need to look at somewhere else, and that is in the tashahhud. You look at your finger. That is in the tashahhud, look at your finger, but the rest, you always look at the what? Prostration spot. So, what is the prostration spot? Now there. That's where you're going to be doing Allah. So, you're not going to do Allahu Akbar. He's not looking at the qibla. He's looking at the prostration place. The second place where there is no proof to say where he is looking, and that is in the ruku'. In the ruku', could be looking between his legs, could be looking where straight down, but we don't have a proof to say where he's looking. Apart from that, is all the time his eyes locked onto his prostration place. This is aqrabu ila al-khushu', closer to the humility between the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he is now going to be looking at the prostration spot and making takbirat al-ihram by saying Allahu Akbar, and there is no exception except for Allahu Akbar. And he's going to say Allahu Akbar or Allahu Akbar. So, and then his hands, they're going to be not really tight like this, not fully. So it's not madmumat al-asabi' like this, and it's not like that, and it is as well stretched up. They're not really they're tight. That means they're not bent. So this is the way to say it. Okay, so it's not really close together. So it's just like normal. Don't be extreme. So it's not like that. It's not like this. It's just normal. And the way to raise it up is going to be either with your, that is your thumb. Okay, the thumb of yours is equal to your shoulder, or it's equal to your earlobe. Your shoulder or to your earlobe. It's not like this and like that. I've seen the videos, some of the videos are maybe demonstrated wrongly. It's like this or like that. It's not like this and like that. No, it's like this or like that. That is the takbir al-ihram, and it's facing your palm towards the qibla. So this takbir al-ihram is accompanied with Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar is either before or after, but directly. That means Allahu Akbar, raise up the hands. You don't say Allahu Akbar and wait. So it's Allahu Akbar, raise up your hands. Or raise up the hands and then say Allahu Akbar. All together, Allahu Akbar. With this. Allahu Akbar. So do that, doctor, please.
Allahu Akbar.
So that's the first one. Okay. I want your hands just a bit straight. You can just like straight, yeah, stretch properly. Allahu Akbar. So do it now. Raise and then say Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
That's together. Now I want you to raise, put down, and then say Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
That's it. So these are the three positions. Now, we want now to demonstrate the mistakes, and after that I'll give you what you're going to ask me about. Mistakes regarding this, and the people, they do the following. And I'm going to go stream, I'm not going to make you laugh for the sake of a laugh, but this is what the people, they do. The people they do in Allahu Akbar, they do like this. Okay? Like that. I've seen them putting their hands, they would like me to show me as well, to show the camera. So show the camera for me. Show the camera like that. And people even would do like this. They have to touch their earlobe with the what? With the thumb. Okay, that's the thumb. Do that. That is, I've seen, and this is the people trying to do the best. But the ones who are not careless, that's something else. Those people just go like this. They just flick their arms like that. So flicking their arms. Like this. Not even this, no fingers they're strapped up, nothing. This. So that is as well a person who is not caring. Person who is ignorant, he will, which is the person who doesn't know, but ignorant but too much. I've seen him doing like this. So he's actually twisting his ears. And he thinks it goes in the way. Allahu Akbar. So, doctor, maybe I will do that demonstration for the wrong things. You just do the correct one. Just like Allah. Because I don't want to make fun of you. Okay. So, this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. Some people, they say, Allahu Akbar. Like just hardly lift up his hand. Allah. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is before you and he's watching. So I need to make it short that I will Allahu Akbar or Allah. So I could see myself preparing myself for the prayer. It's a prayer. I'm making my communication with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. Allahu Akbar is without stretching. So it's not Allahu Akbar. That's not right. Allahu Akbar. That's not right. So stretching, that Allahu Akbar, there is no mudud in it. It's Allahu Akbar. So it's not Allahu Akbar, it's not Allahu Akbar, it's not like that. It's Allahu Akbar. And it's not Allahu Akbaru. Allahu Akbar, because it finishes with the ra, and it's jazm. Allahu Akbar. Right. After that, Takbirat al-Ihram, we're going to ask you, what do you want to ask me regarding it? So what is your question before I go to the second? Please don't reverse. If you have any questions now, if you forgot to ask me, then you have to wait until the end of the prayer. Do you have any question regarding the Takbirat al-Ihram? Fadl.
Like you just demonstrated, some people just do this and literally don't even raise their hands above the waist.
Yeah.
How do you advise these brothers?
Those people who do not raise up their hands, not even above their waist like this, how do you advise these brothers? I would advise them, tell them first of all, you are standing before your Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala, and imagine that Allah is watching. Are you going to be doing like this to Him? Is this a communication? Number two, you need to tell them that we have to pray as the Prophet of Allah taught us how to pray. Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Number three, take it easy on him, because that maybe he's a person who is just having the iman and the So I would like to boost his iman rather to stop him from praying totally. Okay? Do you have any other questions? Further? Please, questions are very important to be directed to that thing now.
Some people, they raise it, they make their arms like really wide.
Okay, raising up the hands wide, which is exaggeration. We're going to talk about exaggeration. That's not right. So doing like this, Allahu Akbar. That's not right. So exaggeration, making so much distance between the two hands, that's not right. So it's like this. So my hands goes like where they are. So I'm not doing like this, nor I'm doing like this. I'm doing this is my hands only. That or Allahu Akbar, like this. So I say, I made a mistake, it's Allahu Akbar, that's wrong as well. Allahu Akbar, Jazm. Right, uncle.
You demonstrated 3 ways of raising your hand.
To who? To your uncle? To you? Oh, because we showed it to the people. To you? Can you see me? No, to everybody, they've seen it, uncle. They have seen the 3 demonstrations. Because we're going to do it again, they're going to be taking time. So we've got the video as well to watch it. So the Takbirat al-Ihram, we said, because we're going to repeat that Takbirah anyway, it's going to be with or before or after. So I'll just do it quickly. Allahu Akbar, that's with. Allahu Akbar, that's after. Allahu Akbar, that's before. Okay, those are the 3 ways of doing it. Now we're coming now. after I say Allahu Akbar, my hands go automatically onto the position of the qabd. So I'm not going to say, so say Allahu Akbar and go to the position.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, I'm just sorry about that. Everybody switch off your mobile or ringer. Okay. This is now, he's putting now straight away to the right, to the left. I'm going to mention that in detail to the right, to the left in a minute. But he went like this. What is wrong from the people? Is that some of the people, they go Allahu Akbar down and then they put up. Do that the wrong thing, please, doctor?
Allahu Akbar.
Some people, they do like this. And that's not right. Okay? So you go straight away what? To the... Okay. This as well is only to be done when you are at the beginning of the prayer or you're entering and joining the Imam in his beginning of his prayer. But if the Imam in his ruku', you make takbirat al-ihram as we have said, but you do not put your hands on the right or the left. So you're going to put your hand what? Down. So now, let's say the Imam is in the ruku', I'm in the ruku', he's going to now catch up with me. So I'm in the ruku'. What are you going to do, doctor?
Allahu Akbar.
And another Allahu Akbar for ruku'. Correct. So he's not going to put the right or the left. So if you are yourself praying, then you say Allahu Akbar, and say straight away right to the left. That is for qabd, we call it. But if you are following the Imam, you only do this if the Imam is in the what? In the standing position, reciting the Fatiha. But not in the standing position which is Sami Allahu liman hamid. Not in the sitting position, not in the ruku' position. If it is in the ruku' position, or the sitting down position, or even the standing up position, but not the recitation, but Sami Allahu liman hamida, then we say Allahu Akbar and putting down the hand. Now we don't put it like this. So we're not going to Allahu Akbar and then Allahu Akbar. No. So this is only for what? For recitation of the Fatiha and the Surah. It is not for a person doing like he thinks this is the rafa'. So the rafa', this is the rafa'. After the rafa', I'm going to do according to the position after. After what is it? It's going to be what? Recitation of the Fatiha. I do like this. So. Okay? So not like this. Okay? Again, it's not like this. You understand what I'm saying? Just stay away. Allahu Akbar, straight up. Right, now when I'm putting my right on the left, we're going to now tell you and we'll open the question inshallah. Right on the left now at the moment, the right position for that. The right position for that is that al-yumna, al-yumna is a hand. And this hand could be from there up to the elbows. It's not just the calf. This is where the mistakes comes, even some of the da'is. This is the hand. When it goes onto the ظهر الكف اليسرى, the back of your left hand, الرسل, which is the wrist, and the wrist, and the forearms. So this is the hand. So it goes like this, or like that, or like this, all the way up to here. So all of that is allowed. What is not allowed, I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is allowed, all of it like this. So with my hands, and the sabi' is madmuma. Madmuma means together. The fingers are together, and they are all the way like this. So this is the position for my recitation. Now this is, you cannot find it in the Shaykh al-Munajjid. I'm really surprised. So this is the way, or this is the way, no problem. So this is the way, or that way. Now, again, do it, doctor, please. You know, forget about the things haram. You go like this. Not just like this. So this is, go down and do it like this, all the way. Yes. So I would like you, because the camera can't see me, I would like you to move your yes. That's right. Because you're doing this and the camera can't see you. Then you do it again. So don't just everybody look at it, please. So the people who are not from this side to look at this side, for that side look at me. So I'm like that. Okay? Right. So this is up. And I could do like this, doctor. Okay? Up to here. And there's another one which is qabd. Qabd means hold. So I'm going to hold. This is holding. It's not holding like this. This is the Hanafi, they do it. It's not right. This is right. This is the qabd. 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 Okay? This qabd, I could do it here, I could do it even here. Because qabd. But now, this is what is the mistake in these things? The mistake that the people they do. Number one, demonstrate after, like that. That's not right. So this is not right. Second mistake is the one which we said, the Hanafi, because depending upon a hadith, is not authentic, like this, which is combining between grabbing and stretching. That's not right. It's either this or that. Third mistake is this, which is al-kaffu ala dhahr al-kaff. That hasn't been made. It has to touch the wrist and the forearms. So if you're doing like this, that's not right. It has to be at least like that. And then you could go forward. Okay, so not like that. The other mistake as well is the people where they don't put it on their chest. They put it below the chest. The chest is this area where your breasts are, even the female, no difference from the male. Same thing. Okay, this is the chest. It's above your stomach, above your abdomen. So the wrong thing is to go down to the navel, or even below the navel, even onto the aura. That is really a very shameful act to do it. People putting on the aura like that. You know, that's not really right. So that's a mistake. Also from the mistake that people exaggerate to put it up to the neck. And this is not really right as well. From the mistakes as well, those people who put their hands on the side. There's two people that do that. The old Malikis and the Rafidah. And Rafidah, they pray like this, Shia. That's not right. So right on the left. Inna ma'shara al-anbiya umirna an nad'a ayman al-'ashman. We the prophets have been commanded to put the right on the left. From the mistakes as well, as-salb. Ikhtisar, like that. Or, look at him. Yeah. Or, putting the right on the left, on the waist, like this. Okay? Or on the side. So that's not right. So this way, or that way, that's not right. Or this way. Does people do like this? Yes. From the ways which is common, this way. On the heart. So they're putting on the heart, that's not right. So it's to be in the middle, and up, or all the way there, but not like that. Not like that. Okay, so alhamdulillah, now we have demonstrated this. I think I've done all the mistakes, but if you have put the hands down, please, any question regarding this one? Father? If you've been pushed, don't hold. Just push. Don't hold. Being pushed. But I think even being pushed, because if you're being pushed, this will be quite parallel to your body. You don't want to be pushed to be like this in the prayer. Some people do like that. You're not even facing the Qibla. It's not right. You have to do like this. So your shoulders is the maximum. So there's no such thing squeezing more than that. Squeezing up to the shoulders, but no squeezing to the extent that I do like this in the prayer. That's not right. Okay, that's not right. So in the case of too much squeeze, it's, like you're really tight, but not tilt. In the much squeeze, you could really prostrate on the back of your brother. Okay, but you can't prostrate on top of the whole of the brother. Okay, so there's squeeze and there's extreme squeeze. That's not right. Now. I think if you do like this, don't think in a way. Alhamdulillah. It's not right. It's not right. You don't have to go to this one. Nah. You could do like yes. You could do like that. Yes. Now, if you had broken arm and you had one arm, so if you've had one, so broken arm, which is held like this in your neck, Takbir al-Ihram will be done with what? One. Whether the right or according to what you're able. Okay? So if your arm is being held like this, Allahu Akbar. Sorry, Allahu Akbar, and then it's going to be the right or the left underneath it. If you couldn't put the right underneath the left, if you couldn't, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. You do as much as you can. So you could just put it like that. If you couldn't put it on top of, if you couldn't put it underneath it, you put it like that. Just beside it. As much as you can. If you can't, because I know that the ones who are hanging to the neck, they've got slight movement. They're not stuck to the chest. You could just slide it under. But as I said, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Fear Allah. Any other questions, please? Further?
You know, when you hold it, does it have to be exactly on where the area of the breast is, or can it be just like
The breast is not the area, it's the chest. The chest is the breast and a bit below. The chest is above your, see that? Above your stomach. Above your stomach. Now, that's the chest area. Chest area is not really limited to that breast. Further?
Can you change in between gripping?
Can I change in between gripping and that? You should not be changing while you're doing it. So you can't just do like this while you're praying. That's not really a person who is calm. So a person doing like this every time, no, you can't. But let's say that you've prayed and then suddenly the second rak'ah, a bit tight, went like this a bit forward, no problem. But you keep changing while you pray like this, that's playing, that's not praying. Okay, anybody else?
Holding the child,
Holding the child, nothing to do with this. It could be holding the child even when you are in your ruku'ah. You hold the child. Holding the child is you hold it as much as you can. You need to hold it. That is because it's crying so much, I can't have nobody to attend him. It's not because I love him so much I can't, sort of bear to be far away from me. That's not right. You cannot do that. You hold the child because he's crying. You hold the child because you want to be with him to the prayer. No, yeah. In the prayer, you be in the prayer. So you hold the child, so you just hold him like that, and I put my hand on top of him. No problem. Making the ruku', I could put him down, I could hold himself on the ruku'. In the sujud, I can't hold him because he's going to be underneath me. Okay? So, I do as much as I can if I need to hold the baby. Right, now coming after this, stand up. Now when we put Allahu Akbar, and with the right on the left, now we're going to recite the following. After Takbir al-Ihram, we're going to recite the following. First of all, what we call Dua al-Istiftah. Dua al-Istiftah, you got plenty. About 3 or 4 of choice. So the one that most of the people they know, Subhanakallah bihamdik, Tabarak asmuk, wa ta'ala jadduk, wa la ilaha ghayruk. This is the most common one. The meaning, you say that Dua al-Istiftah, if you want more, look into the book. Look into the book. So that's Dua al-Istiftah. This Dua al-Istiftah is to be said in all the prayers, whether voluntary or obligatory, except for one prayer. That is prayer of the janazah. No Dua al-Istiftah. So in janazah, no Dua al-Istiftah. Then after Dua al-Istiftah, you start with al-Isti'adh. And the Isti'adh is as follows. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفخه. You could add أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفخه. So you got short version and the longer version. But none of them is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم on itself. It has to be من همزه ونفخه ونفخه. And this isti'adah differs among the scholars. Is it every rak'ah or is it just the first rak'ah? Correct opinion for me is every rak'ah, because every unit in its own. But you'll find, as I said, difference of opinions between the scholars. And Shaykh al-Albani, he is supporting that in every rak'ah there is isti'adah, because each unit in itself is a unit, rak'ah. So isti'adah in each rak'ah. After that, you start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is to be said silently, whether in the loud or the silent recitation. Whether it's in the Maghrib, or the Isha, or the Fajr, or Dhuhr al-Asr. Now, if you need to make it loud for the sake of people they don't know, you make it, once in a while. Once in a while. You need to make it, for example, the people they learn to learn. But if it's a silent prayer, you just raise up your voice a bit like Bismillah. So just to tell the people there's Basmala as well. So after that, the Basmala is the correct opinion, is to be silent in the loud and in the silent recitation. Also, regarding all of that, which is the saying of the Takbirat al-Ihram, Allahu Akbar, regarding all of this, you need to say them in a very silent place, situation. Not unless you're an Imam, Allahu Akbar, because you want to make the people to hear about in Takbirah. But if you're on your own, okay, or you are being led, when the Imam says Allahu Akbar, don't raise up your voice. Allahu Akbar. In a way which you don't make yourself hear it. Because people think silent is Allahu Akbar. No, yeah, you will disturb me if I'm next to you. So it's not, no. It's movement of the tongue. So you have to move your tongue. You have to move your lips, but you cannot make a sound. So in the silent prayer, or you are behind the imam, especially in Takbirat al-Eid, people that make Takbirat al-Eid like they're going to jihad or war. You know, says Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, all of them, Allahu Akbar. Huh? That's not right, actually. It's like silent, like moving the tongue. This is just it, Allah. Not even, that's not right. People that make the shout, the next day you can't even make tahiyyat. You can't even concentrate on your tahiyyat. You have to listen to his own. Or you wait until he's finished. Or you do it with him. Problem. So it is moving of the tongue. But you can't do like this. What are you doing? I'm reading the Fatiha. What, in your mind? You cannot read the Fatiha in your mind. If you did like this, your prayer is invalid. So you have to move your tongue. And the Fatiha, correct opinion, is Ummul Kitab. You have to recite it. According to the Hanafi madhab, if you did not recite it, it will be sin, but your prayer is valid. No, it's wrong. It is invalid. If you did not recite the Fatiha, it's invalid. When it is not compulsory to read the Fatiha, if you have been led in the prayer, and in the Imam is in the loud recitation. If he's reading the Fatiha, the loud recitation, you listen. You don't read Fatiha. But if it's in the silent recitation, if you are behind the Imam, you have to recite the Fatiha. Second position is when the Imam is in other than the upright position, like in the ruku' or whatever. So in Sami Allah Hamida, or he's in the prostration. You come, there is no Fatiha on you. So if he's in the ruku', you say Allahu Akbar, and then Allahu Akbar when you're going down. And you make sure you say the first Takbirat al-Ihram, fully standing up. If people did that, Allahu Akbar, so quick that their back was bent, slight, or one of the words Allahu Akbar, one of the letters was set when you're going down, because you want to catch up with the ruku'. In order to catch up with the rak'ah, you lost the whole prayer. You have to do Allahu Akbar fully standing up. Then the second ruku', takbirah, there's no problem to say that when you are going down. But the first one, Takbirat al-Ihram, as we said, you have to make it what? Standing up. Even if you're a person who's like on the chair like the uncle, but you could stand up, he cannot make the Takbirat al-Ihram while he's sitting on the chair. He has to stand up, unless he can't. So Takbirat al-Ihram, and then, so now we have explained, alhamdulillah, up to the recitation of the Fatiha, which is the Fatiha is very important to recite it, and to recite it in the position if you are on your own, or you are the Imam. There is no recitation of the Fatiha if, for example, that you are catching up with the Imam in the ruku', or you are in the loud recitation of the Imam. You don't recite the Fatiha, you listen to the Fatiha. Alright? Okay. Before I continue, any other question? Further.
You know, for example, when you recite the Fatiha, for example, you know certain letters, like the Ha, how are you going to pronounce it if you just moving your lips and your tongue? Oh,
when you recite the Fatiha, you don't make a sound. You don't have to say the Ha with a sound in order to bring the Ha out. So I don't understand what the question is. So I'm ready now, Al-Fatiha. So I'm not ready, I don't need to say, so I'm not ready to, man. There's something wrong with the person. No need to do that. So it's not a bit silent. Just let me bring the smile in your faces. Fine, follow.
You know when you recite the Fatiha, the Imam's going down to
the uncle. Yes.
you finish the Fatiha, or go down to
If the Imam is in the ruku', oh, so you joined the Imam from the beginning, and the Imam, he had made the ruku' and before he said the Fatiha. I would say to you, quick with the Fatiha. Do the quick with the Fatiha. Because if you could catch up with the ruku', do the quick Fatiha. But if you think your Imam is supersonic, he's going to be from the ruku', then I would say, skip the Fatiha, because his mistake is on him. Your mistake is on him, not on you. Because you want to catch up with Imam. إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُتَمَّ بِهِ. Please, I want the questions which are important so we could really go ahead.
regarding takbir al-ihram, saying fully standing, if you are traveling, sitting, how it will?
If you're traveling,
Yeah.
if you are traveling in a car, you have to stop in order to pray. You are obligatory. You can't pray in the car. You're obligatory. But if you are in a plane, you can't park the plane and you can't ask the pilot to stop. But I will say to the people this following very important information. If your flight after the dhuhr and you have time to pray it on land, don't wait until then you fly. You pray it on land and you combine with the asr. You only pray it on the flight because the flight hours is so much that it's covering the whole time of the prayer. Between dhuhr and asr is already you've been flying. So you came into the flight before dhuhr and you're going to finish after maghrib. But if you had time in the airport, don't waste it. Don't pray in the plane unless it's a necessity. Because in the plane, you're not allowed to go and stand up. Unless you have, mashallah, you have to stand up, mashallah. But even you're standing up, but you are in between the earth and the land. You're not on a land, basically. And this is, by the way, according to the Hanafi, to Ibn Abdin, your prayer is invalid. Because Ibn Abdin at that time, he didn't know about the plane. He said, if a person prayed in an urjuha, meaning like a swing, which is not hooked to the heaven and which is not hooked to the earth. And that's a plane, by the way. You didn't know about the plane. So if you're praying in a urjuha swing, which is not hooked to the heavens, he's imagining something which is not imagined at that time. Not hooked to the earth, your prayer is invalid. And that's a plane now. You didn't know that there's a plane now. It's not hooked to the heavens, not hooked to the earth. But we say to you, pray on the earth. Unless you forgot, then you pray on the plane. You've slept through the time, no problem. But don't deliberately push it. If you are on that plane, please ask the stewards, please, I want to have a place to pray. There are some Muslims, like for example, if you go to the Jordanians, if you go to the Saudi Arabians, you go to the Egyptian, they got carpets as well at the back of the kitchen. You got a place and to, mashallah, pray and even towards the Qibla. They will tell you where's the Qibla. You've seen that. But if you are in British Airways, you're not allowed. I don't think it's advisable to do that because in the current situation, the current climate as well. So I wouldn't really advise you to do that. So basically,
They allowed me once.
British Airways,
Yeah.
to stand on the front. MashaAllah, very good. Why are you going to Saudi Arabia?
Now I'm going to Kenya at that time.
Okay. Jazakallah. So they allow you to stand. So if you are, so you have to do it your effort. If they didn't allow you to pray on the chair sitting down, but you have to make an effort to see if I can pray what? Stand. I once prayed on one of the planes, and it was a new one, Dreamliner it's called, the new ones. They had a, mashallah, back big space at the back. There's a space for me and 2-3 people. We're praying Taraweeh. It was Taraweeh during Ramadan. We prayed Taraweeh. In the back, they had the 2 stewards, he said, I'm going to join you, didn't we? Subhanallah. And it was really fantastic. You know? To find like this. And we went towards the Qibla, mashallah. It's got an area for leading the prayers, like, and it's got a curtain. So just us and him and the thing. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You can't find it everywhere like this. Now, please can we just go quickly because we want to go ahead.
When you pray behind the Imam, in loud prayer, do you need to read Subhanallah or
If I'm praying behind the Imam, do I need to make the isti'adah? If I'm reading the Fatiha, I need to make the isti'adah.
in loud prayer?
In the loud prayer, you don't need to read Fatiha, so you don't read isti'adah.
And
So if you are in a loud recitation, you don't read the Fatiha, there's no isti'adah, but there is what? Opening, supplication all the time. Very good question. And, which is, yes, dua al-istiftah, you have to do it. Opening, supplication, the first rakah. Dua al-istiftah in the ruku' or in the sujood on it, there is no istiftah. Istiftah is for your recitation of the Quran. So there is no isti'adah, there is no istiftah if the imam is what? In anywhere apart from the recitation place. And even there is no istiftah if you believe you came to a prayer where it is not loud recitation, it's silent, and you don't know when the imam is going to finish, don't busy yourself with dua al-istiftah. Recite what? Fatiha. But if you know that you are from the beginning of the prayer, plenty of time, dua al-istiftah, isti'adah, and the Fatiha. Alright? So dua al-istiftah is basically for that position, and plus you need to make sure that you have plenty of time to do it behind the imam. Jazakallah khair for those questions. Now we're going back to the, what time is Isha? 22:10? 26?
26.
طيارينها مقدر طيب طير يا يلا ها 27 طيب يلا الله طيب after the surah, after the Fatiha, we recite the surah. It doesn't matter if it's long surah, short surah, it doesn't matter. But you have to make sure that whatever you recite in the first rak'ah, the second rak'ah you recite something which is, if it's in the surah, after, not before. So if you're reciting Surah Al-Baqarah, if you start from the middle, then whatever you recite after, it has to be either second rak'ah, either another surah, or verses which are after those verses. It doesn't matter, it has to be linked to those verses where we think it is better, but not before. Not before. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ. You started from there, and you continue in the Baqarah. And then, second rak'ah says, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ كِتَابٌ. That's not allowed. Because you have to do synchronizing with the verses. But as for the surahs, no problem. You could recite surah, for example, the first rak'ah, Ali Imran, second rak'ah, what? Al-Baqarah. No problem, inshallah. After the surah, after the recitation, now we're going to tell you to make sure that you have 2 moments of silence. When you are an imam, 2 moments of silence. First silence, if you are in loud recitation, which is after the Takbiratul Ihram, and before you recite the Fatiha, then this is the first silence for the people to recite their what? Opening supplication. The second one after the total recitation, before ruku', just for the breath taking. So when he finishes whatever he's reciting, just a breath, and then he will go down. So it's not straight away, Alif Lam Mim, Allahu Akbar. It's not right. So this light pause, just a slight. It's not as long as the first one. So there is no time pause between the Fatiha and the following surah. And that is, some of the imam, they do it in order to make the people recite what? The Fatiha. We say that if you are behind the imam in the loud recitation, the recitation of the imam is sufficing, inshallah, for you. And the imam doesn't have to leave a gap. If we left a gap, can I recite the Fatiha? I can't say to you no. You could recite the Fatiha. As long as you don't believe the Fatiha, it's a must upon you, because it is in the loud recitation enough for you. In the silent recitation, you have to recite Fatiha. Then Takbiratul Ruku'. Takbiratul Ruku' in the following way, which is Takbiratul Ihram, is exactly. So, it's either with or before or after. Say with, before or after, please. Ruku'. Yalla, doctor. So it's Allahu Akbar. Together, it's Ruku'. And another one, go down. And that is, so I'm going like this. And then I'm going to say, Allahu Akbar. Correct. I'm going to go now and say Allahu Akbar, and then Allahu Akbar, and then I go to Ruku'. Very well done. So this is the 3 ones that done the Takbir al-Ihram is exactly the same. Go to the Ruku'. Now when I go to the Ruku', I need to make sure the followings are being fulfilled. Number 1, can I just ask somebody who's demonstrate for me, Sheikh? Opposite way. But the camera, can you catch it, Irfan? No. Can the camera please catch everybody instead of really concentrating on me a bit further away? Would it be possible?
Because I'm going to join you.
All right, okay, sure. So please make the ruku' like him. No, just the ruku', not the Takbiratul Ihram, just the ruku'. Okay, the ruku' position. By the way, your hands needs to be. Look at his hands. That's it. His hands, like exactly. There's a bend in it, so you could really make mujafa between your arms and between your body. It has to be like that. Yes. Right. This is the ruku'. The ruku', you need to make sure there are. Number 1 is that you are holding your knees like an eagle claw. Eagle, like that. So you're not putting them just tapping onto your knees. Number 2, make sure that your head is lined up with your back. So it is not tilted up or down. So go up, please. Both of you up. No. With your head. Just with your head. Look at the doctor. And down. Down, more down, doctor. Well, Sheikhi, more down. Your head, look at it. No, your head down. More down, more down. No, I want it, doctor, wrong. Make the wrong. Down. No, not your bed, no. Just the head. That's it, go. More, mashallah. That's it. That's the wrong. We don't want the hat, forget about the hat now. So we want it to be level with the back. Can you just do that right thing? Do the right thing? No, that's not right, doctor. You're right, it's not right, doctor. It's not right like this. No.
Right one, left, right one, right, she said, level with the
Okay.
back.
Can I just ask you, please, to go down back? Here, please, the back. I want you to do ruku. That's proper ruku. No, you're wrong with it. That's the ruku. So you're doing it wrong. That's the ruku. But now, it's a bit back. That's it. That's the so if I put water onto this, it will settle. And then I put water, and then if I put a cup of water, you've got hadith, mashallah. But you're right, but this is deep down. That's better.
Push your shoulders up.
That's better. So that's I'm still doctor going up your head. That's it. That's the ruku. So what is wrong? What is wrong is this way or that way. Okay? So what is wrong is this way or that way. That's wrong, okay? And what is wrong as well? Go down with your back. Go down. That's wrong. People do it. And that is wrong. People do a lot of this like this. Isn't it? Yeah. Like that. So that's wrong as well. The people that do this wrong. Okay, so the position is right. Again, remember your feet and the width between your feet is exactly or almost like your shoulders. So if you're a fat person, then your feet will be slightly a bit far away from each other. If you're a thin person, you'll be slightly, the gap is narrower. But you cannot, if you are thin, to do your feet like that. And you cannot, if you are fat, to do feet like this. That's irritating and is not subtle and is not equilibrium. Because if you're like this and you're fat, you might fall. Okay, if you're like this, you are thin, people can't really join you with your shoulders. So I have to make sure that I am almost relaxed between my shoulders, the gap, as I say, between my feet. Right. Just a slight bend. This has to be good. Oh, is it happening? Sorry. Sorry about that. Now, the person needs to make sure that his hands are away from his body. So this is not right. See, look, this is not right. This is doing it not right. So it has to be the doctor, the right one. That's right. Relax. So you're looking now either onto the prostration or between, it doesn't matter. But you can't look there because you're going to be raising up your head. You can't look here because you'll be lowering your head. So this is the comfortable way. Anybody now, before I tell you, what do you recite here? Subhana Rabbiyal. Subhana Rabbiyal. Azim. Subhana Rabbiyal. Azim. Subhana Rabbiyal. Azim. 3 times. After they could do as much as you want. Or Subhana Rabbiyal Azim wa bihamdih. If you want more, then you have to go to the book and... Any other questions?
Does someone have to say to catch the ruku when it's behind the imam?
How much from the adhkar you need to catch up in order to catch up with it? If you caught up with the ruku', you caught up with the rak'ah. How much of the ruku' I need to catch up with in order that I will be catching up with the whole unit? As long as I can say Allahu Akbar for takbir al-ihram, and then Allahu Akbar for the second ruku', and then I touch with my hands the knees, then I caught up with the ruku'. Do you understand that? The bowing. So if I made Allahu Akbar, takbir al-ihram, and then Allahu Akbar for the ruku', and then I went to my knees and I touched my knees before the Imam said Sami'ah, then I caught up with the ruku'. And if I caught up with the ruku', that rak'ah will be counted for me. That rak'ah. But as I said a number of times, if the Imam is in the ruku', please make sure that you make your takbirat al-ihram in the upright position, not even a single letter to fall while you're going down. Fully up. And don't do like this, we said Allahu Akbar and down. So that's have to be fully up. And make sure that you don't run. You don't run. You just come slowly. Because you don't want to jeopardize your prayer. Now, from the sunnah that we have learned, which is a controversial among the scholars, that is, if the imam is in the ruku' and you entered from the masjid, okay? If you entered, let's say for example from that brother, he's entered, and if the people are in the ruku', it is also recorded from the sunnah that the person makes the takbirat al-ihram from that place and walk while he is making what? Ruku'. Now, can he make the question I've been asked a long time ago, can he make takbirat al-ihram the way which is the other way, the direction of the Kaaba? No, he would face the Qibla, make the takbirat al-ihram, and now he will walk while he's himself is facing where? The Qibla. So if it's sideways, it's going to be sideways here. So you're going to be Allahu Akbar, and they're going to be going reverse, sideways, until he joins the what? The row. So you could make the takbirat al-ihram even before you join the row. If the Imam said, Sami Allahu liman hamida, and you haven't joined the row, don't worry about it. You're caught up with what? As long as you put your hands onto their knees. This is only when the door is just like this or the outside, but if it's a door like far away, like in Regent Park Mosque, and you are in the people in the first, second row, and you're entering from the gate, you're going to be maybe making sujood before you join the row. So it's not right to go make the ruku' from that position. So it has to be a reasonable distance, basically. A reasonable distance. And this is what taking about 5 to 10 seconds to join in. Not 1 minute or 30 seconds. Now, but I don't think we're going to continue because 27. Now. For what? The ruku' has to be elder. The ruku', I need to make sure that my arms are away from my sides. And I can't make them away from my sides unless I have to slightly bend them. Because I can't make them away from my sides that they are straight. Okay? But at the same time, you have to bear in mind that your back is to be straight. So if this is going to incline or indicate that it's going to go down with your back because your arms are short or something wrong with them, then I would say to them, do as much as you can. Your back is to be straight. Remember, the ruku' settlements is by the following ways. Your head is in parallel to your back, and you make it the ruku' in such a way that if I put water in there, it will settle. It will not go down on the front. And I'm also in the ruku' position. I need to hook my hand like a claw onto my knees. 3, I need to make sure that they are my arms away from my sides. And my feet in the gap in between them, just almost similar to what has been my shoulders. So all of those would contribute to the itmi'nan, the settlement of the ruku'. Subhana Rabbil Azim, if you said it once, that's enough. But Subhana Rabbil Azim to be said, Subhana Rabbil Azim. But not sub. Because if people say that Subhana Rabbil Azim, they say sub. I don't know what they say. That's not Subhana Rabbil Azim. Subhana Rabbil Azim. At least once. And that would finish your settlement and tranquility for the ruku'. And I think we got 1 minute before Salah.
You're coming from the direction before the Imam. And the Imam's on the coming.
The other direction. You have to make takbirat al-ihram towards the Qibla. And then you walk backwards.
Even though you are in front of the Imam.
Yeah, you walk backwards. He's saying, if I, for example, can I join the Imam if I'm in front of the Imam, not the direction of the Imam? I see. Now, the person he needs to know, I cannot pray in any place where I'm in front of the Imam. Alright? So he has to be behind. It's a very good question, actually. I've never that. So a person, if he is in front of the Imam, he cannot make that, join it in, because he will be behind. So it has to be behind any line behind the Imam. And then when he makes it, he reverses back. So he reverses back. Prophet Allah used to open the door for Aisha while he was praying. But it's all the time facing the Qibla. Now, so doctor, please stand up and make the ruku' for us. And the ruku', just do the ruku'. Well, we finished all of that. The ruku'. Now remember, your head is a bit down, that bit down, a bit down. Your head, no, not your back, the head. That's it. It's a habit, by the way. That's the ruku'. Now, Sami Allah liman hamida, you're going to say it loud because the people can say, Sami Allah liman hamida.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
No. You say Sami Allah liman hamida and you are doing it. You don't say Sami Allah liman hamida in the ruku'. The ruku', the ad'iyah, you remember, Sami Allah liman hamida is the dua is in between. If you said it like this, it's wrong because you said it while you're saying the ruku' adhkar. Go on.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So the Sami Allah liman hamida is the dhikr in between. Again, what am I going to do? So Sami Allah liman hamida, so the dhikr is in between raising up and between the ruku'. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So what's the mistake now? The mistake if the people would do the following is that, after again, to say Sami Allahu liman hamida before you raise up, that's the first mistake. Go on.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
So if you did this, it's a mistake because you have left this raising up is empty from the dhikr. And the other one, which is a mistake as well, that is, go up without saying anything, and then say Sami
Sami
Allah.
Allahu liman hamida.
And that lots of people, they do this, and this is wrong as well. So what is the correct? Is to say while you are going up. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamida.
Now this is, so the dhikr of raising up is the Sami Allah liman hamida. When you are up, Rabbana wa lakal hamd, accompanied with the raising up the hands in the three ways that we have mentioned. Go on with them please.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
And this is what? After or before or with?
Before.
Okay.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd. With. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
So you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd with, before or after of the raising of the hands. Right. Raising of the hands, as I said, with the fingers raised up, yes. So not like that. Don't love this, please. Okay. We are. Right. Same thing to the earlobe or to the shoulders. Okay. Now finished. Now in this as well, you could add. Now when you are in this position, what the people they do as a mistake is that they say Rabbana wa lakal hamd quick, and they go down without having the tranquility, which is a pillar, in that position. Can you just show us, please, Doctor, what the people would do quick when you are saying Rabbana wa lakal hamd to go down?
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Yeah. So he did not basically stop for Rabbana wa lakal hamd in the upright position. So he did not stop, waited till he just say Sami Allahu correctly, please, when you're going up, and Rabbana wa lakal hamd quickly.
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa
No, that's correct. I want to be faster. You're not really good.
Sami Allahu liman hamida correctly.
Yeah, and the Rabbana wa lakal hamd is wrong.
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Still will accept this. I'm going to show you a faster one, because look at the people. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let me show you. What is what I'm talking about? Yes, that's the one. You're taking it slowly. Alright, so I want to do that. Sami Allahu liman hamida Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Sami Allahu liman hamida Rabbana wa lakal hamd. And that is, you'll find it not just with the normal people, you'll find it as well with the masajid who are affiliated to the madhab of the Hanafi, but Abu Hanifa has nothing to do with it. Okay, to the field to the madhab of Hanafi, and even some of the imams, they do it. Once they are up, you don't find them up. They're already down. Okay, so that's the mistake. I'm sorry. Another mistake, which is they don't straighten up your back. Go on. Sami Allah liman hamida, don't straighten your back. That's it. Rabbana wa lakal hamd, they go down. Some others people, they extra bend. Can you go to the back?
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal.
That's it. That's another one. People, they do that. Once they do it, you're laughing. Huh? They do that.
Yes, yes.
That's a normal thing. I mean, have seen it more. Can you do that more? Yeah, that's it. Have you seen people doing this? That's it. Really bend the back, huh? Like that. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Okay. And they put their Rabbana wa lakal hamd with each other. Other mistake as well, Rabbana wa lakal hamd with your hands like this. That's another mistake.
Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal.
Did you ever see that as well? Another mistake. This is the dua, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. That's another dua as well, that's another mistake. Now, of course, the mistake of looking like a fox is accompanying all the prayer. So even in the prayer, there's some people that are Rabbana wa lakal hamd, and they look around. That's another mistake which is accompanying all the prayer. Right, after we said Rabbana lakal hamdu hamdan kathiran, now we're going to go takbirat al-sujud. We're going to go to the sujud now. By the way, saying Allahu Akbar, saying Sami Allah liman hamida, all of that compulsory upon the person. The pillar here is the upright and making sure that you're staying still. If you're not staying still, your pillar will be jeopardizing. You have to stay still. That means at least short while just up. You can't just go down. So, okay. Yeah, for sujood. Right, so the person is going to make the sujood now. When he goes to make the sujood, there's a takbirat al-ihram. Takbirat al-sujud. Takbirat al-sujud, you could raise up the hand with it if you wish. If you wish. So that will be, how many times you raise up the hand when you are up there? Twice. So let's do it with the raising up the hands the second time. So you are on the ruku'. Do it and go down.
سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد الله أكبر.
Right, that's good. So that is second one. That's it. I'm going to do the sujood in a minute. Now you should see Allahu Akbar is also raising up his hands. You could do that, but you follow the Imam. If the Imam does it, you do it. If he doesn't do it, you don't do it. But if in your own as well, you practice that. And Allahu Akbar with takbirat or raising up the hands is exactly like takbirat al-ihram. You can do with, before or after. No problem about that. Now when you go down to the sujood. Before you go down to sujood, there is the upright position. We have something that the Sheikh al-Murajjid did not talk about. I know why he didn't talk about. Because I believe he follows the Sheikh al-Albani, but because he's done it in Saudi Arabia, he doesn't want to talk about putting the hand right on the left after the ruku'. Sheikh al-Murajjid, he is actually follows the Sheikh al-Albani's book, but in that particular issue, he did not talk about it at all. This is in the YouTube clip of his. So he skipped it basically. So in that position, let me tell you something. If your Imam, I know that your Imam, does not put his hand right on the left, you should not put the right on the left. Your Imam doesn't do it. But if you're praying wrong, if you're praying yourself, you're the Imam, then you pray the way that you think is correct. Well, we have explained it. I'm not going to go through that. We've had a class full of a hadith regarding this issue, and we believe that the correct opinion is not to put the hand right on the left like you do it for the Fatiha and the Surah. But you need to know as well that the following are all to be equal in length. Number one, which is a ruku'. Number two, Sami Allah liman hamidah. Number three, that is sajda, sujood. And number four, the between the sajda. All of those time-wise is to be what? Almost the same. So all of those four things are to be the same. Sometimes the Prophet did what? He did all of that the same as what? Qiyam. But this isn't not when you are leading the prayer. Prophet did it on his own. Hudayfa, he did not invite Hudayfa to come. He came and joined in. And that's a voluntary. And when the voluntary, it's my voluntary. If you want to join me in, that's no problem. But it's your problem if you couldn't really take it. But the Prophet told Hudayfa, he could have told me, I could have just shortened it because he felt it in his back. Or a back problem after his prayer with the Prophet of Allah. So, normally the case, the Imam would do his ruku' and his sujood and his Sami Allah liman hamidah, and between the sajda are almost the same, but not equal to his recitation of the surah of the Fatiha and the Apostle Surah. Now going to the sujood, we're going to go to the sujood in the following way. We're going to go first the hands and then the knees. Go ahead. And this is the hand is optional, by the way. Okay, so you again and slow motion, please. You don't have to put it now. Don't put your hand. Just say Allah without it. Okay. See, that is very comfortable. You come with your hands on your knees. But if you do that, some of the people they do, doctor, I'm not responsible for your knees. Go to your knees, please. All right. That's what the people they do. Oh, so you are practicing hand. Go on. So look at that, the way it is really kneecap. Go on. That's the normal people that do that. Now, you have got carpet here, and you've got, mashallah, underlayer as well, isn't it? You are the Prophet ﷺ, you haven't got that. You've got now pebbles. and stones. Will you be able to do that? Show me if you could do that, you know, the footballs and that. Kneecap the following day. Straight away, because you're going to break your knees. So this is how to do it. Again, onto your hands. Good one.
Allahu Akbar.
So now, I'm going to explain the sujood. Because the sujood needs a bit of explanation. So he went to his hands, and his hands, these fingers, they are going to be close to each other. They're not like the Takbirat al-Ihram, where we said you could separate the good. So it's joined in like this. Look. And all of them, they were towards what? The Qibla. In his sujood, he would open between his hands. The normal way when he does Takbirat al-Ihram is like his shoulders. So he's not doing like this. And he's not doing like some people, they do like that. I've seen them. They do like this, make the sujood on this like this. That's not right. So you open him like this, exactly as in your shoulders. So there's no exaggeration. Also, you'll find that his two thighs are not close to each other. So they're not really, like some people they do like this. And then some people they what? Really exaggerate open it. So it's the normal way. Also, now go to the sujood doctor. You'll notice that his knees, what time is it?
27.
Huh? 29. His knees are not close to his belly. There's a space between his belly and his knees. So some people they do, stop, I'm sorry. They really get close like that. See? That's wrong. And some people, they do like that. That's press up, it's not really prayer. Sorry, doctor. Are you okay? You could listen to you, please, doctor? So you could see now, look at the hands in parallel. Yeah, this thumb, you see, he's relaxed. He didn't really. It comes by natural. The thumb equals to the earlobe. Can you see that? You could do like this. You could do like that. But you can't do like this. And you can't do like this. Okay, that's not right. So this is the sajda. Yes. You feel comfortable as well. Now, if you are on your own, or the imam, you do like this, which is your underarm. I could see your underarm from here. So you exaggerate. But if you are with the people, you do like this. Okay? So if you are with the group, in the jama'ah, you do like this. If you're not, you do like this. Exaggerations. Exaggerate that even the little sheep can pass between the belly of the Prophet of Allah and the ground here. So but if you did like this, he will not be able to pass. So his right armpit will be shown. And remember, your hands always towards the Qibla. And not really so. Now coming to the foot. The foot, also between the knees we said, the normal grab, no exaggeration, as we have said. And also in terms of the feet, you can see that they're stuck together. So they're not like that. There's some people that do like this. They're not like this. Some people do like that. That's jeopardizing of your sujood. And plus, your toes towards the Qibla. So the toes here, when you press on your toes will open naturally. The socks here, I can't see his toes, but there will be a gap in between them. Naturally, because you're pressing on top of them. So that is the sujood. In that sujood, you say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la 3 times, or Subhana Rabbi al-A'la wa bihamdihi 3 times, or you could have the adhiya that we have taught you in the book. You refer to the book of the Shaykh al-Albani and there is lots of dua there. But remember to use the dua, not to alternate between other dua. So, if you said Allahumma laka sajad, you keep repeating Allahumma laka sajad, laka aslam. If you said Subhana Rabbi al-A'la bihamdihi, you say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la bihamdihi, Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, and you keep it, but you don't really alternate in the same sajda. That's the proper sujood you could really make. Now the other issue is that the nose. Nose is touching the floor. How many limbs they should be touching in the sujood? 7. Let's count them together. Hand, that's 2. Knee and knee, that's 4. Foot and foot, that's 6. What is the 7th?
Nose.
The forehead. The forehead and the nose. So some people, can you show me that you're doing on your forehead and the nose? Some people do like this. Your sajda is gone and your prayer is gone. You have to touch the nose and the forehead. So put it the proper way. That's it. Right, you can sit down now. I think We got only 2 minutes left before the adhan. After, inshallah, the prayer, we will talk about in between the sajda. How do we do it in between the sajda? Do you have any question? One question, I will tolerate. One question. تفضل يا أستاذ. وأخواننا، أنا أنصح بعدم وضع الأذان في التليفون يا شيخ. أنا أنصحها. وإني لكم ناصحا أمين. هذا فيه استخفاف بدين الله عز وجل. ما يجوز وضع مؤذنات تؤذن هكذا. المؤذن الآن حقيقي ضع فقط منبه، والتنبيه يكون إما بتيت واحدة، تيتين، تنتين، خلاص ينبهك بالأذان. نعم. لا. انتقلت من هنا والله مش.
سمع الله لمن حمده. الإمام يقول الله أكبر، احنا نقول الله أكبر بعد ما نقول الإمام ولا؟
طيب رجع مرة ثانية اعمل سمع الله لمن حمده. طيب ايش الخطأ هنا؟ Anybody spot the mistake? Yes. raising of the hand لازم رفع اليدين بعد ما تستوي. مرة ثانية سوي زي ما أنا. لا ترفع يديك. رفع يدين هذا تعرف مع مين مرتبط؟ مرتبط مع ربنا ولك الحمد، مش مرتبط مع سمع الله لمن حمده. عيد مرة ثانية. راح تسمع هنا وانت تطلع، احكي سمع الله وانت تطلع، يلا. الآن ربنا لك، أحسنت. طيب سؤالك الآن يكون مع الإمام. الله أكبر. Everything you do after the Imam, except Ameen with the Imam, because of the hadith. So Sami' Allah liman hamidah, he says, you say after the Imam, Sami' Allah liman hamidah. When you are with the upright, you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. You cannot synchronize with the Imam because you can't hear the Imam saying Rabbana wa lakal hamd. But if your Rabbana wa lakal hamd synchronizes with the angels, then all your sins have been forgiven. That hadith of Shaykh Mashhur, he says it could be the same hadith as the hadith of he synchronizes his Ameen, Allahu A'lam, and he says it came from the same makharaj. It could be one hadith and nothing to do with Rabbana wa lakal hamd. I left that with the Shaykh and he said I'm going to do more checking for that. But anyway, you follow the Imam and behind the Imam, not with the Imam. Jazakallahu khairan for that question. And with the Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Some of the doctor himself, he just wanted to as well demonstrate one of the mistakes in the Sujud, because we cannot really counter for all these mistakes, you know, that people would do. But some of them, they need to be addressed because it's a common mistake. So going back to the Sujud, before we go to the sitting between the two sajda, the doctor had pointed out the following mistake, which is, okay, this is where the feet, they are actually not pointing towards the Qibla, but they are being flattened. Okay? That's a mistake in the Sujud. And also another one, which came to my mind as well, regarding the prayer mistakes, that is, you do your hands like the dog. That's it. That's a common mistake, where the elbows are on the ground. It's like a dog or a beast. We're not supposed to imitate any type of animal while we're prostrating or we're praying. So this is a common mistake what the people they do in the sujood. Now in between the sajda, after we finish the sajda, we say Allahu Akbar. And this Allahu Akbar, you could raise up your hands if you are on your own or if you are the Imam. But if you are following the Imam, you have to do what the Imam is doing. So now after the sujood, say Allahu Akbar. That's without raising the hands. You want to raise the hands is exactly in the way you raised up the hands in the Takbirat al-Ihram. That is with, after, or before. So let's just do the three of them. I'm not going to, you said do it, doctor? That's with. That's before.
Allahu Akbar.
And that's after. You're almost with it. Just after is wait and then do it. Okay? Right, now, again.
Allahu Akbar.
Doctor, you say Allahu Akbar not at the end, be careful. The Allahu Akbar has to be either triggered, you just read coming, but not when you finish.
Allahu Akbar.
That's better. So remember, don't say sit and then say Allahu Akbar. Alright. Now in that, between the two sajda, the following is dua, which is Rabbi ighfirli warhamni wahdini wa'afini wajburli, or Rabbi ighfirli, Rabbi ighfirli, Rabbi ighfirli, he continues doing this. Now in that, between the two sajda, there are two ways of sitting down. This is the way which is the doctor is doing, which we call it iftirash. What he's doing now, he's putting his right foot in the upright position, with his toes pointing to the Qibla, and the toes will be having space, naturally. In between them, the toes will have space. And as for the left foot, he is flattening it, and he's sitting on that left foot of his. So that is the first type of sitting down between the two sajda. And there's another one, which is, we call it, what is that? Al-Iq'a. Al-Iq'a. This is the Iq'a, which we call it the Sunnah Iq'a. And this is, by our Shaykh al-Albani, is to be authentic, even though that some of the shuyukh, like find, for example, Shaykh ibn Baz, they don't really approve that because the hadith for them is not authentic. But this is authentic. Can you show it to me, doctor, because I want to see it as well? That's the Iq'a. So that's the Iq'a. The Iq'a is not to separate between the feet and not to do the Iq'a of the monkey. Show them the Iq'a of the monkey. There's two ways. One, which is that one, and that is the buttocks is in between the 2 feet. And the other one, can you do that? The other one? Monkey. I know you're not a monkey, but no. Anybody like to do the second one? It's like that, brother. Can you see it? That's it, like that, brother. Like you. Yes. You're not a monkey, but you still like a monkey. This is the way. So that's a monkey, you see? This is not allowed in the prayer. So again, that's number 1 sitting. And the number 2 is the buttocks on the floor. That's not allowed. So the correct one, turn yourself please doctor towards me and do that. That is, and this as well, you're equalizing time-wise between it and the sujood and the ruku' and between the, and that is the upright position. Sami Allahu liman hamida rabbana lakal hamd. From the mistakes as well, the hands. When you put the hands, this is number 1 mistake. Let's just put the correct one. The correct way is that your fingers end up with your knees. And please join them together. That's it. So, join them together. So your fingers, it ends up with your knees. The mistake number 1 is that they put, and by the way, your elbows, make sure that they are away from your thighs. They're not touching, are they? Okay. So the mistake number 1 is that they go down, your hands, that's it. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, that the elbows stick to your thigh. That's not right as well. It's not correct. Okay, that's a mistake. Anybody will add a mistake that the people don't invent one. You've seen somebody doing it. Huh? You see, like this as well. This is takhassur as well. This is really not right as well. You know, I haven't seen people making the proper takhassur. Have you seen people doing this? I have never seen it. But they call it in the books. They say it's a mistake. But I haven't seen that yet. So this one I have seen, the one that you just said. Yeah, exaggerating or going putting it to the, you know. Right. Now coming to the sajda, second sajda. The same thing, Allahu Akbar. You go to the second sajda. The brother, you want to sit down, sit down. The brother, you want to go, it's up to you. Okay, this is the second sajda. And the same thing that you've done in the first sajda. Now, after that, get up, Allahu Akbar. No, he said sit, get up. And this one just saying, how are you going to get up to the second rak'ah? Correct. By the way, the sisters, can't they see? No. I'm sorry, sisters, you know, you've been out of this whole of it. It's not really right, it's not really fair. How can we just transfer to them? Okay, well, you're going to wife, but your wife has got other sisters to look at it. Sure. Really, they shouldn't be seen. They should be seen. That doesn't matter. Right, okay. It doesn't matter, actually. The second, when he sits down, stand up in the second rak'ah, there's something called Jalsat al-Istiraha. Jalsat al-Istiraha, the sitting of rest, to rest basically. That Jalsat al-Istiraha is exactly what the doctor is doing, and it's just a moment, and there's no dua in it, and he's going to get up. No, don't get up like that. Hanafi way. He's going to get up, yeah, with this way, which is called ajn. Al-ajn means like you make it a dough. You know the dough, make the bread. Again, the ajn. Okay. This is the ajn. Now people, they do it this way. Now, I mean, if your mother does ajn like this, which is common, it's no problem, inshallah. It's up to you. And I feel that this is the most comfortable way. If you want, if I do this, but for me, this one maybe is not really as strong. But ajn is actually basically is holding the hand like a fist and punching the floor with it. That's the ajn. So whether you're going to do it like this or that, we don't have a proof to say which way. But the ajn, the normal one, is like this. I have seen my mother doing like this always. I never seen her doing like this. Okay. So, but if you see that people that do it like this as well, no problem. You do it like this as well. Now, when you make ajn and you get up, so the first thing you're going to get up is your knees and then your hands. Go on, do it, doctor. Like that. Knees first, then the hand. What's the mistake that the people would do? Go down. That is the common mistake, which is to stand up on your knee without the hand. Look at that. That is pain. Very painful. This is for somebody who's agile, go to the gym, maybe you will do it. But somebody who's really old and can't do that one. And this is the one that makes you the kneecap, which is two things. Going onto your knees, it's number one, it's a kneecap. And the second one, which is the one that doctor is going to do it, that's going to be a back breaking pain. It's not right. So the normal, the good way is to punch on the floor, and get up. Knees first, and then the hands. That's the way to do it, and that's the comfortable way. Now the sitting of the rest, even if your imam doesn't do it, you could do it because it does not show that you are differing from the imam. It does not show, because it's a flat one. So it's just to sit, basically, and making sure that you settle, and then you get up. Right. After that, can you sit down, brother? You can't sit. You can't see when you're sitting down. You can't. Okay, the sister can't see. No. If you open the door. Oh, really? Can the doctor? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Can the brother sit down, please, so the sister can see? I will tell you what. Can you just open that area and just sit down, everybody there on that area, please? Yes. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me. No, interrupt. You're too late now, interrupting. I got the whole thing again. Sure. Can I just ask you, brother, because the sister want to see, huh? I'll fulfill the question, don't worry. You will ask as much as you want. Again, I'm going to do go to now, full prayer, please. Full prayer, from the beginning. Full prayer. Yeah. But quickly, don't recitate the Fatiha. So Takbirat al-Ihram, you can face the Qibla, look at the way that he sits. The way he stands up, look at that. So look at the way he stands up. No, before you Takbirat al-Ihram, before Takbirat. Look at the way he stands up. Look at this gap between his feet. It's equivalent to his shoulder. You'll find so many people, they're giving you a headache by doing like this. How am I going to be touching your feet and my shoulder to your shoulder? Unless you're really that thin. Okay? How am I going to touch you? Some people, no. This is the way, the common way. No. The common way. That's the Hanafi. Yeah. So how can I touch your feet and you touch your shoulder? How can I? It's impossible for me to touch your feet and shoulder. So the brother, when he does like this, with my shoulder touching your shoulder, I have to stretch so hard with my feet to reach you. Don't do that. If he doesn't want to open between his feet, don't stretch your feet. So you don't do the other mistake, which is the other mistake. That is. When I do like this, how can I touch your shoulder? So I need to make in like that. Correct. That is the way to do it. You know, in the army, they teach us, when you go to the army, is that the gap in between your feet, if you could just twist your foot like 90 degrees like that. That's it. Touch the other one. That's when you put the other one where. See? So that's the measurement. Yes. See? That's the army how they do it. And I'm not doing to do the arm and twist your foot and then you touch your arm. kneecap or something. I'm just telling you how, so this is the natural way. Now, if it's the natural way, make sure as well my feet are with toes towards the Qibla. What the people they do? They stand up like a duck. Look at the duck. It's a duck, yeah. They're not the ducks. So how can I touch my knees to your ankles to your ankles? How can I do that? It's to be straight, as much as you can. So this is the way to stand up. Not the way which is, again, that's the normal way, isn't it? If I do like this, so the toes will be touching from the front, but the back one is absolutely with a big gap. Not right. So straight like this, correct, towards the Qibla. Now, Takbirat al-Ihram, you're standing before Allah. Allah is watching you. Allah, He is in front of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the hadith, قال لا يزال الله مقبلا على العبد في صلاته. So He's in front of you. He's talking. So what you are doing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, go ahead.
Allahu Akbar.
So he went straight away from Takbirat al-Ihram up to the what? Right and to the left. He did not go Allahu Akbar and went down. No, Allahu Akbar straight away, right to the left. This is the way to put the right on the left, whether it is women or men, the same thing. On the chest. Don't do it like before. Please watch the part 1 in the video. I'm not going to go again, but this is the right way. Now, ruku' after Fatiha. Please, ruku'.
Allahu Akbar.
So now his ruku' is, at the moment, he's done it. He's raised up the hands first and then his ruku'. So you could do it together. Your Allahu Akbar, whistling in the hands. But watch now the ruku'. His knees is being captured by his clothes, like a claw. See that claw? If you can't see it, watch, show them. Can you rotate, doctor, to them? What are you doing? Rotate, rotate, rotate. Those people want to see you as well, another side. No, doctor, rotate. That's it, so the people can see. So that is how you will catch your knees. Look at your elbows, there's a slight bending. And it's not touched to the thigh. Don't make a mistake, I don't want to do the mistake, just do the right thing. Look at his head, how it's level with his back. Don't do other than that. Go back now to this, Sami Allahu liman hamidah. No, doctor, no, don't leave that empty when you're going out. That's a common mistake. You're doing what you're doing. Don't go into autopilot.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
That's it.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Correct. So you see, Sami Allahu liman hamidah while he's raising up. It's not when you finish. Again.
Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Can I ask you, doctor, to be honest? Were you before doing like this or before something like that when you get up? Because it's a habit.
I think I used to do
Stand up.
it right at the end.
Yeah, right at the end. You go into what your autopilot, I know
Right
that.
at the end.
So now we're going to change your auto default pilot into while you're going up.
Yeah.
Now, you see, look, no.
That's what I used
You're
to
too
say.
late, yeah.
That's what I used to say.
Yes,
Sami Allahu liman hamidah.
correct.
Rabbana wa lakal hamd.
Very well done. Now he said, Rabbana lakal hamd, and he went down with his hand on his side, and then he's going to go to the sujood.
Allahu Akbar.
You could raise up your hand with that one, it doesn't matter. He went with his hands first, then his knees. Look at his elbows away from his body, as long as he's on his own, or the imam, not with the people. The people he will put their, can you just bend them together please, the elbows just a bit, because the people will be annoyed. And you can see the feet at the back, they're stuck together. The toes are spread and they're pointing towards the Qibla. So that's the sujood. Then Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Remember the nose is touching as well. And then he would say the dua here, and you could do the other one, which is sitting on the iqa', like this between the two sajda. And then after that, Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
If you're doing the iqa', remember that it will be coming naturally for the sajda. Because you can be iqa', you don't have to do anything with your feet. They stay the same. Okay, now he's going to go to the Jalsa al-Istiraha before he stands up. So stand up for the second rak'ah.
Allahu Akbar.
Look at that. This is how we do it. So what's the mistake? Can we do it without Jalsa al-Istiraha, please?
Allahu Akbar.
Yes. That's two mistakes. Jalsa al-Istiraha has gone, and plus he went into his knees first without the hands. That's two mistakes altogether. Right. Now we're going to go to the tashahhud. So let's say that you are in the second rak'ah and you're making tashahhud. Tashahhud is as follows. You say he's sitting the same, which is called iftirash. This is the iftirash. His hand like that, and he's going to, as soon as he sits down for the second tashahhud, second sajda, he's going to be after the second sajda, he's going to point his finger straight away. Pointing the finger this way. Okay. Right. This is the pointing the finger. Look at that. He's doing it here. He's not doing it here, by the way. He's not doing it here. Because people, they do like that as well. He's doing it here. That's what it is. Because his hands originally was that. So what he does, just like this. Either this way, or that way. This way, or that way. That's the only way. Now, towards the Qibla, and he is moving slightly. Like that. Now, the mistake that the people, they do, that is number one, they don't raise up the finger until the what? They say, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. And they do it only once or twice, and that's it. Second mistake, some people do it like this. That's not right. There's no sunnah because hida, because I've seen it in the video, that's not right. It has to be towards the Qibla. Your eyes looking at it, not your head. It's not like that. It's just your eyes towards the finger. Fingers pointing to the Qibla and you are moving. Some people are doing the, let me do it myself. Can you hold microphone for you, please? Because I'm going to show some mistakes. And when I do it, I remember lots of mistakes. First of all, I'm doing now, this is correct everything, but I'm going to do the mistakes into the tashahhud. First mistake, as I said before, is Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Rasulullah, and that's it. Do like this. That's the first mistake. Second mistake, common mistake I'm talking about, that the people, they do, like, instead of moving the finger like this, do like this. And this is the brothers, some of the brothers. That's not right. This is called up, down, up. It's not movement. The movement is like this. Some of the mistakes I've seen, that the movement is not natural, like this. That's not movement. That's not really, this is waving. Okay? Some of the movement, some of the people, they do like this. Okay? I don't know, this is as well, where did they get it from? Some people, they do it like that. Some people do it like this. 2 fingers. That's the common mistake. Some people, I have seen them, they do it like this. When they sit down, it's like they're putting a gun. Okay? That's not right as well. So this is the mistakes in the finger. The mistakes into the tashahhud is also that the people, when they read the tashahhud, they don't read the tashahhud in full. You're going to say the salah tashahhud upon the Prophet of Allah, and you're going to as well the salah al-Ibrahimiyya. So the tashahhud and the salah al-Ibrahimiyya. So tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibat, and also after that, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, and also after that, the du'as. The rest of the du'as you start with, that the Prophet of Allah, he taught to Abu Bakr. Allahumma inni dhalamtu nafsi dhulman kathira, wa la yaghfiru dhunuba illa anta faghfir li maghfiratan min 'indika warhamni innaka antal ghafurur rahim. Please check the book. And the last one, Allahumma ighfir li ma qaddamtu wa ma akhartu wa ma asrartu. All of that in the middle tashahhud and the last tashahhud, no difference in between them. So this is the dua and you say in your tashahhud, whether it's the middle or the last one. Now also from the mistakes that the people they do, that they don't really look at their fingers. They look everywhere, but they don't look at the finger. You have to look at the finger all the time, all the time. And this is the finger is basically like a rub onto the shaitan, as we have said. And it's actually, you're making concentration on that finger, and while you're making dua. Remember, every time shaitan comes, what you do, ista'id billah, that's your left. Don't do like this. It's not like that. So, right. So that's 3 times to make sure that the shaitan will go. Right. After that, with the mistakes as well of the tashahhud, is we could say that the people, they do like this. I've just said that. What else as well? Anybody would like to add to these mistakes? Yes? Somebody say like this. Yes, that's true. That is true. I've seen like this and that one as well, which is because it comes from the Moroccan areas, and Algeria do like that. I've seen them, which is making like a circle. That's not tahrik. This is not tahrik al-isba'. Alright? So that's not. We've done this. We've done that one. We've done this. So which one I think? Please don't invent, please, the mistake that the people they do. Some people do like this. Maybe a person who's jahil. I've seen people doing like this as well. Like that. Okay? No, you have to make the aqd like this. Or like that. You have to be like what? Either this or halaqa. So these two always what? Closed. This one could be closed, or this one could be like this. So we call it 90. Like this. So this is the tashahhud. I remember in the Sujud, a mistake which I have seen some people, it's very rare, but I've seen it. People do like that. You see them? Yeah. That's a jeopardization of the whole Sujud. Straight away, your Sujud is not accepted. Right. After we have done now the second, we go to the second rak'ah. If there is a third rak'ah, or the fourth rak'ah, there's a fourth rak'ah. The last tashahhud is exactly the same, except that you make tawarruk. What is the tawarruk? The tawarruk is basically you sit on your thigh, left one, and to make yourself sitting properly, you need to yalqamu. That is his knee. He was like you are, like that. Okay, and this has to be straight, like this. And my tashahhud is the same. This is like this. And look at my foot is like this, which is, I'm going to show it to everyone. These two, now there are 4 ways of doing this. 4 ways. Way number 1, which is the one like this. Way number 2 is like that. So the toes are what? Flattened. Way number 3 is like this, but this is in between here. Way number 4 is like that. I'm going to repeat again. Way number 1 is this way. Way number 2 is this way. Way number 3 is that way. Okay. Way number 4 is that way. Okay? So these are the 4 ways of doing this called tawarruk. In that tawarruk, what are the mistakes? Mistakes number 1, they don't do tawarruk. Mistakes number 2, what was that? Do like this. This is not right. What is wrong with it? That feet of yours is going to annoy the person who's next to you. That's not. It's supposed to be in line. It's supposed to be underneath. It's not supposed to be sticking out. If you stick out, you're going to annoy the person next to you. So you're not going to do that. See, people are doing this. You're going to see that half of the foot is outside. How are you going to sit down at that person? Because remember, you're going to sit. So I'm going to be like that, covering it. And when you more practice, you'll do it. So maybe first time you're going to be doing like that. Okay, first time. But you're going to be, after practice, you're going to be, mashallah. So I just prayed now in the Maghrib prayer. MashaAllah, between the 2 brothers, Dr. I think you, and somebody else as well. And it was really comfortable. Everybody, he's made his tawarruk. He made your tawarruk, you're happy. I made my tawarruk, I was happy. If you don't make tawarruk, another person is next to you, make tawarruk, you're not going to feel comfortable. Because when you make tawarruk, you tilt naturally to the left. So if he did not make tawarruk, it's going to be what? Pushing you. So he's be what? Naturally as well, he tilting to the left. Until the last one tilting to the wall. But when you tilt, you don't tilt like this. Tilt, I mean, just a natural, just a bit. But this one's gonna hold you all the time. I have now finished all the salah except for the salutation. Last thing is the salutation as follows. Salutation is done in the following 4 ways and no 5th way. You'll find Salih al-Masjid, Hafidhahullah, there is a 5th way which is not authentic. Way number 1, which is you turn, and he has said, you say it while you're turning. No, you turn first, because you're saying it there. You're not saying it like this. You turn first until your cheeks is showing to the back. So, if you did like this, your cheeks is not showing. It has to be like this. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And then you turn to the left. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You have to be put on the side of it, please. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So this is the first way. No, sorry. This is the wrong way. This is the Shaykh Murajjid way, which is not right. Again, I'm going to do the wrong way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This one, You'll find in Sunnah Abi Dawood, but Shaykh al-Albani says, shadda, it's not right. So this one is not right. And I believe that if he knew what Shaykh al-Albani was saying at the end, I don't think he will do it. He will not be saying it. So the correct one is, the number one is, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's the complete one. Second one, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Same ones, which is lots of people that do it. Third one, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. So I took rahmatullah here. You can see here always you will find either equal or the right is what? More. Always Allah's messengers used to do under the what? The right. Always the writing of the right is always more honorable. That's why. Third, so the last one is no turning. It's just slight tilting. So it's not turning like this, it's slight tilting like this. Assalamu alaikum. That is the last one. Assalamu alaikum is the last one. So now what are the mistakes? Mistake number one is the tilting of the head is not complete. So you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum. This is the new fashion of the youth. Lazy salam. Say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Where is your cheek? You have to turn. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's not like this. This is lazy. The other one, which is the brothers who are keen to do it, but they don't know the sunnah, so they exaggerate of doing it. And there's a number of ways of doing it. Number one, that is a person who says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, goes up to the back of the brow. And it's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's mistake number one. Mistake number two, some people, they are actually tilting the neck with a movement. So there's like this, and I've seen it, this is people following the films actually, movies, you know. So Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It's being taken from the Sufis, by the way. Because the Sufis say Allah, Allah. You understand me? So it's been taken from them. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's not right. Because it's not as in, so the normal one, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As I said, lots of other people, they do exaggeration. But if you have any to add, which is something that you know, I don't want to have exaggeration. I don't want Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. That's, yeah, some people they do, so I know, some people they do, which is very rare. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You seen that? Yeah, you see it? That's a common mistake. He opens his hand. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It happened to me, next to me was a person, and he was one rak'ah missing, I remember. And I was next to him. I finished my prayer, I was doing an adhkar. So he finished next to me, I remember. He said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So I thought he was saying salam to me. He said, Wa alaikum salam. Because he opened his hand. So, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. And then he said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Some things that happens and be documented, inshallah. Do you have anything else to add?
As others that were they stopped in the middle?
Can you just put one by one? I want to understand. Go on.
So Assalamu alaikum, and they're stopped in the middle for a pause.
Okay. Yeah, that's another mistake. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's the wrong one as well. Jazakallah khair. Yes?
Some people salam to the shoulder, not to the side.
So some people say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. What else? We're adding to the video. Any mistakes as well? Fadal?
Before the salam, some people do this.
Okay, some people is it?
Lots of people.
I mean, khalas.
They lift the hand.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu. But the Shia, Rafida, they don't say salam. They do like this. Do you know what they say? What they mean by this? Khan al-Amin. Jibreel salam had made the khiyana, the treachery, by giving the Prophet to whom? Prophet to Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Khan al-Amin. They don't do salam. They never do salam. The Shia, the Rafida. طيب. Jazakallah khairan. Anyone? Hang on a second. You want the adults? Just the adults, please. Okay, for the sajda?
In sajda, we mentioned the mistake of like the dog, but the Hanafi women are actually told to pray like that.
Okay.
of praying.
The women are being made. Can you just ask you for the sisters to be made like that, to be praying like this, yeah?
Yeah. Has to be on the floor as well. And
The two-
sit on it. Can I show you?
Yeah, sure.
Start the raise.
Yeah. Can I just ask you, please, just open that path always. Okay, to do like this.
Properly sit like
You mean have to cover this area? Okay. No, they don't. You see, problem is, I will tell that the sisters, they pray with the sisters. They don't pray with the men. They're not supposed to pray in the presence of people who are strangers, unless they have been pushed. They're not supposed to be making people behind them to look at them, because the sisters are an object of temptation. I'm not saying an object is not, but I'm saying that they are temptation, and that's why they should be covered. They're not supposed to be showing anybody who's behind them. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how He created us. So we have to make sure that we are covering those points that would bring, the lust of the man. Now, any other thing? Further?
Question, Sheikh.
Yes.
If you're praying on a chair, what should be the position of your feet and your knees in your sujood? And between the sujood.
Okay, I'm praying on a chair. Can I bring a chair, please? Praying on the chair. Praying on the chair is praying on the chair is not allowed in the obligatory prayer except for the person who cannot sit and make prostration. If you can sit in prostration, you're not allowed to sit on the chair. Because once you sit on the chair and you are able to prostrate, then you have missed 3 pillars. Sajda number 1, sajda number 2, and the pillar between them, the sajda, which is between the sajda. 3 pillars have been missed. So if you can sit and prostrate, you're not allowed to sit on the chair. So the chair that is only allowed for the people who cannot what? Sit and prostrate. These are the ones allowed. So they could be, for example, they can't stand up, or they could stand up, but they can't what? Go to the sujud. They can't go to the knees. They can't sit down on the floor because there's something wrong there. But if you sit down, if there's nothing wrong, you have to sit and pray sitting down like this. I want to see people who are unable to sit on the floor. I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen it. I miss these people. What are they? I'm just seeing people chair. The chair phenomenon now. It's really gone so much extreme these days. So where are the people sitting on the floor? They can't. So even if they are, let's say that there are people who they can't stand up, then we'll say to them, sit down on the floor. As long as you're comfortable like this, and you make prostration. And you can't make prostration like this. You could make prostration onto your what? Onto your side, like this. Or onto the back, like that. So these are the people who are unable to do it. So the chair is only for the person who cannot sit. If you can't sit, you can't have a chair. If you're on the chair, then there are two ways. Either that you can stand up, or you can't stand up. If you can't stand up, then you're going to be sitting on the chair in line with your body, with the people. And that is comfortable to everybody, even to the one at the back, because you're not causing them any trouble. So if you are not standing up at all, you can't stand up. So you sit on the chair like this, and you make takbirat al-ihram when you are sitting there. But if you stand up, you're not allowed to make takbirat al-ihram sitting down. It's not accepted. So your body will be in line with the people. That means that the legs of the chair and you see that body of yours standing up is in line with the people like this. Can I just ask you and you? Can you get up and stand up? Look, you're praying next to me. So you are one side here, one side. Okay, either one. Okay, so that's it. So I'm between them, like this. So my shoulder is in parallel to their shoulders. Okay, that's how I'm praying, and it's comfortable for the people behind me as well. Now, in that position, sit down. In that position, sisters come here. In that position, I am going to be doing the takbirat al-ihram, Allahu Akbar, exactly the same. Fatiha, Surah, Ruku', hands on the knees, and look, same thing, holding with it closed and doing Ruku', Now, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Sujud, no glow now. I'm going to put my hands, not like that. Not like that. This is not right. You're not holding on the air. It's lots of people are doing it. You're like this, on your knees, sujud. So your sajda is lower than you want your ruku. This is slightly. Don't exaggerate because you don't want to break your back. That's sujud, and that's ruku. Sujud, and that's ruku. Sorry, ruku, and that's sujud, bit low. Right. Well, the mistake that the people they do, they bring to themselves something raised up in order to make sujood on it, like a table. Especially in the aeroplane. People that they open the tray for their food and they start putting prostration on it. It's not right, okay? It's not right. Either you go and stand up and look for a place to stand up and pray in the plane. If you can't, then you pray like this. That's a sujood, not to put something on top of it. And there is as well, I just said to you before, the bid'ah chair. The bid'ah chair, they call it the sajda chair. And you will not believe that. Huh? Have you ever seen that space chair? You haven't? Okay. Let me just show it to you so everybody can see what I'm talking about. I'm putting it here into funny religious pictures. So religious pictures, religious images. Okay. That is sujood chair. Can you see it? That's a bid'ah. That's not right. They're making it so the people can't. You see it? That's not right. Okay. Right, okay. Now, finish now with if you stand up. Now, the person who could stand up, and he cannot sit. So you're going to make the ihram standing up, but now, here we go. When he stands up, he has to be in line with the people. So he has to be like that. Not in front of the people. And his chair is lining up with the people. It's not like that. Well, how can he make the ihram on his own? So it has to be like this. Now this is where the people are going to be when behind him a bit struggling. Because it's taking some space. But it doesn't matter. Okay, we put behind him, small children. So he stand up like this, feet to feet, not chair to chair. Or feet to the chair. Okay? And with ihram standing up. And when he sits down for ruku', so it's going to be Fatiha, whatever he wants he can do. So before he sit down, if he's able to drag his chair, just like this, slightly. This chair is not really good. This is not, you can't pull this chair at all. This is not rubbish. But when you pull it, it goes insanely. It falls. So you pull the chair a bit, and then you line up yourself like this. That's if you can. So the people behind you will be happy now to prostrate. If you can't, it's up to you. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah just gonna burn it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So this is now standing up with the brothers for Takbir al-Ihram. Once they're gonna go to ruku', they're gonna go to ruku' as well like this, isn't it? Same thing. Sami Allahu liman hamida, and then gonna be now sajda. When you go to sujood, just a slight push. No, you stay. Okay, so I'm just like this, and that's it. Sujud. So I'm lined up with the people, I'm behind me. That's, mashallah. I've seen some of the masajid made bid'ah. Hasana. Which is okay. The brothers have made like this chair, which it's got a spring. It's like this, the chair. So they are making their, mashallah. So as soon as he comes to the sujood, it'll open by itself. And he sits. Do you understand me? And then when he gets up, by itself it locks. And then he'll be lined up with the people. That is very good. That's technology. It's bid'ah not in the deen. They're doing it, no problem. Did you understand that? And he's done it, and he's got pilot chair. He's calling it pilot chairs. Very well done. This is a brother who's a Salafi, mashallah, done that. And they really liked it, because the way he done it, alhamdulillah. But the problem is that these chairs occupy places. See, if they are to be lifted and put, yes, but when they're stuck there, not every time you're going to find what? People who are incapable of praying, so you're going to take from the space. So what he did about 2 chairs in the front, 2 chairs in the back. Yeah, what about the 2 chairs in the back? The person who, let's say we have more people who are incapable, disability. They're not ready to be pushed to the back. They have the right to go in the front. So I would like these chairs to be on the wall. Whenever there's been needed, we'll bring it to the man. Not to be stuck like in Bangladeshi Masjid in East London. You'll find, I don't know, you see them? So many chairs, and even some people sit in the back. It's not a cinema, it's a masjid. Is it? Yeah, and it's empty. It's empty. So, for me, I just take these chairs and put them like this, and I'm gonna sell my place in the first one. Whether they like it or not, I just put it in the wall, let them fight with me. And put it like this, and I pray. Because it's not the chairs going to take my place. So these chairs, as I said, it became a phenomena, and it's not really good. It's not really healthy. Right, now we're going to go to the question. Let me sit down, please. What time is it now? 30 what? 36. Alhamdulillah, you got enough question. Uncle number 1. Question, uncle. Huh? Yes, you could read it, postpone and tell it. Okay, tell it. Yeah. Always when you are reciting your Fatiha and your Surah and your Adhkar and your Tashahhud and all of that has to be with moving the lips. Has to be, otherwise we're not going to be accepted. You have to be with the lips, but don't make a noise. Don't make a noise. Move the lips and that's it. تفضل شكيل. جلسة الاستراحة. Can I do the iqaa? No iqaa in جلسة الاستراحة. Only افتراش. Okay?
How do you make sujood of the
Tarawih? I've never seen that we have come to the point where the people they have to prostrate at the back. I haven't seen it yet. Okay, so I don't think they will be comfortable. They're not going to allow you just to prostrate on their back, basically. You understand me? So we have, alhamdulillah, enough space outside, and I urge the brothers here that you have enough space not to start praying next to the imam. The imam has to be on his own. The imam is not comfortable, ikhwan. This is not right. From his right and his left, yes, I have told that before. It's in case of, like for example, Jumu'ah. But in the case of Taraweeh, not every night we have what? Full Taraweeh. Especially after the 4 rak'ah, lots of people leave. So basically, we should really leave the space. First one is for the imam. And then after that, first row, second row, that's how it is. Only in the extreme, like the Jumu'ah. Because we don't have, otherwise we're going to make another Jumu'ah. So that's okay. But this is in Taraweeh, first night and second night, and after that they're going to be normal. And you're going to come the last night in Ramadan, maybe you're going to come just the 27th night of Ramadan. Amen. Alhamdulillah, we have the outside as well, where the park there, inshallah. And when we have another floor, inshallah, with the extension, inshallah. When is the extension? Very soon? Inshallah. So you're going to have it before next Ramadan? Khalas, I'll take away your word for it. طيب. تفضل.
Brothers who, for example, when you come out of the sujood, like you said,
with the fist.
Those who open one.
With the open one, it's not right, but it's correct. I mean, the prayer is not jeopardizable. We don't jeopardize the prayer unless there's a pillar has gone. Like the sujood, you did not put the 7 limbs. Your feet are flying. That's not accepted. Or your aura is showing. It's not accepted. But something like this is to deduct from the wall, the prayer is accepted. Okay? Otherwise, we're going to invalidate lots of prayers here. Be careful. Now, Fadal, Uncle, do you have any question?
Yes. When you make intention, how do you make your intention?
How do I make my intention? My intention, Uncle, is just basically I know what I'm doing. That's all. How do you make your intention, Uncle, when you go to the toilet? Because there's something pushing, isn't it? Same thing with the prayer. Something is pushing you to come to do the prayer. You don't stop in front of the toilet, hang on a second, let me make my intention. No. So you know you're going to the toilet because you need the toilet. So you come to the prayer, you do the prayer because you need to do the prayer. That's the intention. So I know what I'm doing. And I'll give you a simple example to distinguish as well. When the person is making his, let's say, ghusl. So, person who is, I'm sexually defiled, I'm on janaba, I'm going to make a ghusl. So he is now the moment, because he was with his wife or whatever, and he wants to make ghusl, intention is there just to remove the janaba. But let's say he forgot he's got the janaba. And he said, I'm smelly, let me go and have a wash. And he did not recall the removal of the janaba. His wash will not be accepted for the removal of the janaba. You understand me, uncle? Because he forgot to do that. He just did it because he smells. He wants to have a nice smell. He wants to remove the dirt. But it has to be in the back of his mind, and he wants to do the janaba. Let's say that the person forgot that he was on janaba, and it was a Jumu'ah day, and he forgot that he had intercourse with his wife. So he made his ghusl for the Jumu'ah. He made his ghusl what? For the Jumu'ah. And then he did the Jumu'ah. Then he remembered, oh, I was on janaba. Don't worry. Your Jumu'ah will suffice, inshallah. Because the Jumu'ah there is ghusl wajib. If you remembered the janaba at that time, you have to do the two ghusl. But if you did not remember, the ghusl, this will suffice because it is legitimate ghusl. Okay? So no problem, and it will suffice you. You understand that now? Yes.
When we make the sujood, we keep the fingers together, without the thumb, is that?
The thumb, if you can keep it with it, keep it. But some people, they find it difficult. So, all of them together, the thumb unit. Now, you can't do the tawarruk. You can't do the tawarruk. If you can't do it, if you can't even do the sujood, so no problem. So what about the tawarruk? So no problem. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. So you have to really make sure that you are able. If you're not able, then فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم. نعم. تفضل يحيى. Pointing the finger is not going to be implementing the hadith of Prophet Allah كان يحركها.
When you point the finger, you exit with the salam.
Oh, can I? When do I stop my finger? Do I stop it before the salam or after the? Is that what you understand? So your finger kept to, from the we said. Soon as you sit for the tashahhud, your finger is up, and then your dua and everything, and that finger is coupled with your dua. So when your dua is finished, your finger is what? Finished. Your dua is finished, so it's finished. So, salamu alaykum, salamu alaykum. You understand me?
If you keep it pointed and you give the salam,
You keep pointing to the salam, this is like, is your salam dua? Because some people they call it dua, because there's a difference among the scholars as well. So that is why I have seen as well some student knowledge, they keep doing like this, because they are what? But I say that this is for the dua in the prayer, not the salutation. So I've seen our Shaykh al-Bani, he will put his finger down and then he salutate. Okay? Now, second. Father Khattab.
Some people raise their
About hang on. I got 2 minutes, please. That's better idea?
56.
That's it. Yeah. 2 minutes.
Some people raise their finger between the two sajdas.
Okay, very good. Some of the people that raise up their finger between the two sajdas. I have seen that even from students of knowledge. That is not authentic, and raising of the finger is in the second sajda, after the second sajda, not in between the two sajdas. Another question? That's it? Just an istirah, yeah, because it is because every time they sit, they make the tashahhud. Yeah, we've seen. Now, if this is any questions? I make the taslim behind the imam. First taslim, I make first taslim with him. Second taslim, I make second taslim with him. I don't wait. Now, you got 1 second.
Concentrated in tashahhud, can you repeat again tashahhud?
No, don't repeat the shahada twice. Don't. Because you said it, you said it. Basically, you're not concentrating, you're going to be repeating lots of things. Now, Fatiha, I'm not concentrating, I'm going to repeat the Fatiha. It's endless. Don't listen to the shaitan. Okay? Keep repeating Fatiha, and then everything, and then you ruku'ah, I'm not concentrating because you're going to repeat the ruku'ah. Be careful. Alright? جزاك الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.